A blog post by Vox Day from voxday.blogspot.com. Desperate indeed, January 10th, 2021. Nancy Pelosi sure seems to be A, scared, and B, in an awful hurry. I wonder what has her in such a tizzy on this happy Rubicon Day. From Nancy Pelosi. Dear Democratic colleague, on this Sunday, as we pray that God will continue to bless America, I write to inform you of our next actions, which will be made with the great solemnity that this moment requires. I want to call to your immediate attention the action to be taken tomorrow morning when Majority Leader Hoyer will request unanimous consent to bring up the Raskin resolution. This resolution calls on the Vice President to convene and mobilize the Cabinet to activate the 25th Amendment to declare the President incapable of executing the duties of his office, after which the Vice President would immediately exercise powers as acting President. The text of the resolution can be found here. If we do not receive unanimous consent, this legislation is planned to be brought up on the floor the following day. We are calling on the Vice President to respond within 24 hours. Next, we will proceed with bringing impeachment legislation to the floor. In protecting our Constitution and our democracy, we will act with urgency because this president represents an imminent threat to both. As the days go by, the horror of the ongoing assault on our democracy perpetrated by this president is intensified, and so is the immediate need for action. I look forward to our caucus call tomorrow. I'm grateful to all members for the suggestions, observations, and input that you have been sending. Your views on the 25th Amendment, 14th Amendment, Section 3, and impeachment are valued as we continue. I am answering your communications in chronological order and will do so into the night. Thank you for your patriotism. Prayerfully, Nancy Pelosi. I wonder to which devil god she is praying. Deus Vult. And then the next one is, they will not tolerate you. January 10th, 2021. Alexander Macris explains why you will not be spared the repressive tolerance, no matter how beautifully you cuck or how slavishly you denounce everyone to your right. From Macris. If you're reading this, you're probably right of center, but perhaps you feel safe from repressive tolerance because your views are so, well, gosh darn tolerable. You obviously don't advocate right-wing violence. You're not a racist or misogynist or homophobe or bigot. You just want America to have a healthy free market, a strong military, fair trade, low taxes, equality of opportunity, and protection of every citizen's constitutional rights. You're just a mainstream, moderate, right-of-center conservative. Do not fool yourself into believing that because you are a moderate, you are safe from the doctrine of repressive tolerance. Herbert Marcuse explains what the plan is. Withdrawal of tolerance from aggressive movements before they can become active. Intolerance even toward thought, opinion, and word. And finally, intolerance toward the self-styled conservatives' tactics would include the withdrawal of toleration of speech and assembly from groups and movements which promote aggressive policies, armament, chauvinism, discrimination on the grounds of race or religion, or which oppose the extension of public services, social security, medical care, etc. Anyone who opposes any extension of public service, social security, or medical care, or who supports freedom of religion, is to be completely and utterly deplatformed. No freedom of speech, no freedom of assembly, no communication in word, print, or image. This is the plan. This has always been the plan. All that has been lacking were the means to effectuate the plan. Those means are now at hand. If the President of the United States can be silenced, anyone can be. And what happens if conservatives resist having their voices suppressed and repressed? Well, that's a problem that requires a solution. And as Herbert Marcuse explains, the solution may require apparently undemocratic means. I will leave it to the reader to ponder what sort of undemocratic means might be justified to solve the problem of conservative thought, opinion, word, action, or being, end quote. Vox continues, this is why they begged for freedom of speech in the first place, to put themselves in a position where they could deny it to everyone else. They demanded the toleration of evil so that they could eventually refuse to tolerate good. The sin of Jeroboam leads invariably to the destruction of the nation that is foolish enough to commit it. I am going to be doing live streams tomorrow, but tonight I would very much like it if you still could go to the quad meet. It started at 8:15 p.m. Central Time. They do need donations. So, quadvirum.com/support us. Social media, alternative platforms, hosting their own platforms costs money. So if you can, donate to them. You can also donate to me via PayPal. Subscribe, star links in the thread. Thanks for listening.